Hello my friends! Welcome back to the seasonal video you've been waiting for. Which heroes can you use to rank up quickly solo in the new season? Don't forget, these heroes are chosen based on their ability to be useful in solo queue and to be a reliable pick in almost every matchup. Tell me, which hero are you going to main this season? And let's start with the 5 pick or ban candidates. Number 1.
Valentina.
She gets nerfed in every patch, but this doesn't remove her from the top of the ban list. The nerf on her CC ability and cooldown certainly gives more room for mistakes, and the activation of certain ultimates were also made more difficult, like 1-1's ult. But her main strength is still the flexibility as mage. She can be used on any of the 3 lanes or as a roamer, and she can still counter almost any enemy with a strong ultimate. Number 2.
Faramus.
This guy is the king of pick or ban in the higher ranks, with a world-breaking 91% ban rate. His ultimate is a game changer and a lot of people simply refuse to deal with him. Even after the huge nerf, his utility in a teamfight strat is still one of the best. And he is a flexible hero since he can be used as mid laner or roamer. While it's much easier for him as mid laner to gain stacks and to shorten his ultimate cooldown due to his item build, he is more annoying as roamer because of his ability to protect all the damage dealers, which is still stupidly OP. Number 3.
1-1.
After I played a couple of matches with her in rank, I can say she's significantly weaker now. Not being able to target any enemy hero makes it much more difficult to create the chain reaction, where you target the lowest HP enemy and extend your ultimate duration by killing multiple enemies. Still, if I would play in any rank lower than Mythic 2, I would still ban her, because there are just way too many people who just blindly run into her and give her a free ult. And one devastating ult from 1-1 is still enough to turn around the whole game. Number 4.
Beatrix.
Wow, Mundo nerfed Beatrix. She must be out of the meta now. Nah, she still slaps as hard as ever. And any Beatrix player should be able to easily adjust to the changes. Her shotgun makes way less damage but can be still deadly in the late game. But in exchange, her sniper is now better and easier to use because of the larger hitbox. Use her upgraded sniper in the early game since it's OP for last hitting minions and poking the enemy away. Use Nibiru and Bandit as your main gun and the shotgun in situation where it's required in the late game. Overall, she is still a pick or ban candidate. Number 5.
Julian.
Another update, another nerf for our Evo boy. As if it's not tragic enough losing his family and unknowingly working for the killer for years. But there's a silver lining on this nerf. His late game cooldown even got slightly improved. And his utility and flexibility is still as crazy as ever. He just can't be as aggressive as before in the early game. Still, he is a strong hero and a pick or ban candidate. These are the 5 candidates that I would consider pick or ban. Now before we continue with the next heroes, let me ask you something. Do you remember when Mobile Legends was banned in India? All of you who suffered because of this didn't have to. If you would have been using the VPN service from Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN enables you to bypass any kind of censorship that is going on in your country, or lets you check out all the libraries on Netflix, for example. Due to licensing, there are many shows that are not available in your country, which you can access by simply changing your virtual location. You can also secure all of your online data, which is getting more and more important. As many of you know, I am working in the IT business for over 12 years now. And let me tell you, being protected online is becoming more and more important. Nowadays, we do almost all of our important businesses online. And if you're using Surfshark VPN, all of the information that is being sent between your device and the internet will be sent encrypted. So nobody can steal any data from you, use your personal information for any kind of shady business, etc. You can also play Mobile Legends secured if you connect yourself to a VPN server that is close to your location. This extra protection shield gives your hero 100 extra points of physical and magic defense. And you will be able to win every game with ease. Okay, this was a lie, but you will be protected online, which is the most important point. So click the link in the description and use my code 𝐷𝐸LGUIDE to get 83% off for your subscription, plus 3 extra months for free. Surfshark also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out. Again, the link is in the video description, and thank you very much Surfshark for supporting my channel. Now let's get to the reliable option that you can use in most of your matches. Number 6.
Ling.
A nightmare for every low mobility hero. Ling is pretty strong in the right hands. The difficulty to control his swords is high, but it's rewarding to master him. His power comes from the mobility, leaping from wall to wall across the lanes in an instant. Ling can snowball and play aggressively when your team is winning, or he can split push safely while leveling the ground when your team is behind in farm. Just don't forget that he can be easily countered. And once he's caught, he dies faster than a fly. So I wouldn't recommend to use him as a first pick. Number 7.
Carino.
Damage build makes her burst go brrrr. One simple combo is an instant kill for any squishies without defensive equipment. She's a perfect executor to close the page for the enemy's book. With a tank build, she's a decent jungler with high survivability in team fights. And her speed while taking down objectives also doesn't fall too much, compared to her damage build version. Did you already find the keyword to a strong hero till now? Let's continue. Number 8.
Fanny.
We all met that godly Fanny player already, who roam around the map and kill anyone who just shows up on the map. Becoming really good with Fanny definitely takes more time than with other heroes. But once you have reached a certain skill level with her, you will become an unstoppable monster. Unless you are using her when the enemy has hard counters for her in the team, like Ruby, Saber, Akai or Kufra, just to name a few. Make sure to pick her as last pick in the drafting phase, so the enemy won't be able to counter you. Number 9.
Ballmode
Helicopter! God, this was bad. Nothing much to say about the protagonist of every weird Mobile Legends ad. He hasn't been touched by Moonton for a long time, so his presence in the meta actually rises a bit. And he shows up on the MPL scene sometimes. That's because his power to secure objectives like the Turtle or the Lord is exceptional. And if you play solo queue and carry...
Say the line, Bart!
Poor headless chickens.
Yeah!
You need the Lord to help you push and secure objectives. He's also pretty good in ganks, as long as there are no heroes who can stop his helicopter move. Number 10.
Sun.
He is quite weak in the early game, but in the late game he shines brighter than most other heroes. Sun is very fast in taking down objectives like turrets, the Turtle and the Lord, using the power of his clones. He gives no mercy, he takes no peace, apes together strong. He is a great choice if you want to get out from the lower ranks as fast as possible, because with him you can do the one thing that all those epical glory noobs ignore forever: taking down the bloody objectives. If possible, play him as jungler to take down more objectives, but also as XP laner he works very well. Number 11.
Esmeralda.
Another regular that stays on the recommended pick list since, I think, the Jurassic Age. Esmeralda can generate and suck up the enemy shield, she has a great sustainability and a good mobility that makes her very hard to kill. And on top of that, she still deals a decent amount of damage. Enough to kill some heroes in the backline when you're flanking them. She should be your standard pick when you go to the XP lane, if you want to play an easy game without much effort. Number 12.
Marsha.
Another misplaced nerf was placed upon Marsha and the bear. She's still a very powerful pick if you want to rank up. Most people only know that Marsha is a great hero to push turrets. But what makes Marsha so scary is her ability to flank the enemy's backline. With a no-brainer item build, her ultimate will destroy most marksmen and mages. She can be used on the XP lane or as a roamer with dire hit to further increase her burst potential. Number 13. Despacito. No, I'm not going to sing the rest because my singing sucks as well as my Spanish. Maybe I will rap it for you one day, who knows? Taquito is one of the most popular heroes in the higher ranks right now. He's very strong, but not broken enough to get him to the ban section. Yet, his skill combo deals an insane amount of damage to squishies, while he is also able to sustain a lot and to escape in difficult situations. Just make sure to aim his skills every time and you're good to go. He can be used as jungler or XP laner. Number 14. Thamus has a perfect kit as an XP laner. He's OP in basically any 1v1 situation, deals a good amount of damage, and is very hard to gank and kill. He can sustain a lot of damage with his ultimate and vengeance combo, and he can also clear the lane very fast, which helps you to cut the lanes and pressure the enemies. He's a beast in objective team fights like the Turtle and the Lord, but his mobility isn't the best. That's why his pick rate is significantly lower than Esmeralda's. Number 15.
Akai.
Helicopter! Wait, we had that already. After the revamp, Akai has been part of the top 10 ban section. While he can be used as the usual roamer to harass enemies and protecting allies, his utility in securing objectives as jungler can't be underestimated. His ultimate is a game changer because he's immune to most CC skills. You can also cast a retribution while spinning. It doesn't matter if Selena's Era hit you or Vale's Tornado knock you up, you can secure the Lord just fine. Number 16.
Atlas.
Atlas is a lot squishier than before, but his ultimate is still a game changer. Combine him with a team that is suited for team fights, especially heroes who deal an insane amount of AoE damage, and he can German suplex a losing game into a win for your team. Atlas' main problem is that he's pretty hard to use in solo queue situations, especially in lower ranks where nobody follows any setups, because they are busy taking the blue buff or whatever. Just like every solo queue roamer does, follow the one-eyed ally that at least sometimes hits a skill and ignore the completely blind ones. That's the plan, but if 4 of your teammates are blind, well, good luck, mate. Number 17.
Franco.
Another classic yet solid pick for a roamer. Franco is one of the best pick-off tanks you can get in the game. He is super easy to understand, even a beginner could understand how his skill works by just using him once. If you double down though and really learn how to use his hook, you'll become a nightmare for the enemies. His ult also gives you the strongest CC ability in the game, and that makes him a counter to basically every hero in the game. Number 18.
Lolita.
Another great way to rank up is using unpopular, yet very strong heroes like Lolita. She's not very popular in lower ranks, and you can use it to your advantage. Because Mobile Legends is a game where you learn through experience most of the time. Unless you're taking the shortcut and subscribe to ML Guide. Wink wink. Many players don't know how to deal with Lolita. Her ult can be a game changer similar to Atlas ult, and she can counter a lot of meta heroes right now, especially all those annoying marksmen. Her shield can take up 1-1's ult or Beatrix sniper, and afterwards you fire it back into their face. Number 19.
Selena.
If you refuse to use a tank for some reason, but you're still forced to take a roamer by your teammates, Selena is here for the rescue. Her pick-off gameplay will annoy every enemy that comes in contact with her arrow, and her damage is insanely painful if you make full use of her passive. Even if you have bad teammates that feeds all the time, at least you can try to level out the stage by killing the enemies. You can of course also just use her as a mid laner. Number 20.
Kagura.
Kagura is one of the most powerful pick-off mages you can get in the game. She can delete any squishies in an instant if the combo is done right. It takes time to master her skills, but as with other difficult heroes, the reward of mastering such a hero is very sweet. Kagura is also a very agile mage that is hard to gank. It's useless trying to stun her because she can just remove it, and it feels like all your efforts and skill shots are wasted on her because she just jumps around with her umbrella and whoosh, either she escaped or you somehow ended up dead. Number 21.
Sicilian.
He's very weak in the early game, but gradually becomes stronger and stronger. He just needs some stacks and every hero will fall with 1 or 2 slaps. Since a lot of players in lower ranks don't know how to end the game, Sicilian is your best choice if you feel like the team is a hopeless case. He has the ability to carry the whole team if you master the art of positioning. Number 22.
Lunox.
As I rightfully predicted in my underrated heroes video, Lunox became a very strong pick after the latest buff. Her ability to survive on her own, as well as the ability to melt down any tanky enemy or securing the turtle and lord in no time makes her a very good pick when you're playing in solo queue. Number 23.
Brody.
If you're an experienced player, I don't need to tell you anything about his potential. If you're a new player in Mobile Legends though, and getting bored of using Layla in the gold lane, Brody could be the first step for you to play a very strong and reliable marksman. His skill set is very beginner friendly. More marks means more damage and more hits from his ultimate. Easy to understand, right? And as you usually experience ganks non-stop on your lane, which you just can't survive with Layla, you can actually build defensive equipments for him and still slap really hard with BOD and Malefic Roar alone. Number 24.
Clint.
The last of the 3 BBC members. He will appear on every recommended hero list again in the season. Clint is a marksman with a unique playstyle that combines both skills and basic attacks. His enhanced basic attack range is perfect to poke the enemies away in the laning phase, and his first skill alone deals an insane amount of damage if you target a single target. Clint is a perfect go-to marksman to rank up for solo queue. No cap. Number 25.
Claude.
The rising star of MPL across the server, Claude has become an answer to counter many meta heroes. Even though his early potential is slightly worse compared to the marksman I've mentioned before, as long as you farm safely with him and get your core equipments, he can melt any hero like butter using his ult alone. That makes him a very reliable diver to target the enemy's main damage dealers. Number 26.
Leslie.
Alright, hear me out before you dislike the video and write a hate comment. Is she really better than other marksmen like Bruno, Moskov or Melissa who didn't make the list? Probably not. But this is a solo queue tier list. And I'm thinking about heroes who can work despite your allies being bad. Most Leslie players are way too aggressive when using her. And that's why so many Leslie players are bad. There's a reason why she's a marksman assassin hero. You're supposed to play hit and run throughout the whole game with her. And nothing else. Early you make sure to last hit any minion to get your items as fast as you can, spam your ult so you're not getting ambushed, and basically try to stay invisible for the first 10 to 12 minutes of the game. Once you've got your first 3 items ready though, you can start to harass the enemies. That doesn't mean though to engage like a headless chicken. Get close, hit an enemy once, and retreat. You need to be like an annoying fly, who's non-stop around the enemies, but they are unable to catch it. The tankier the enemy is, the better Leslie works of course. And every tank stops immediately to spam the recall once Leslie hit them. And when you have your full build ready, 2 crit shots with true damage are already enough to make the enemy retreat to their base. So even when they siege your base, you can take out at least one enemy and stop them pushing any further. In the late game, she's probably the strongest hero right now, which is a super important trait for good solo queue heroes in lower ranks. So if you're able to play her right, she will become a reliable pick to rank up, and you're able to carry many games that you would have lost otherwise. Now after you know which heroes are good to rank up, you of course also need to know which 7 deadly mistakes you have to avoid, because without this knowledge, even the most OP hero is not helping you.
See you over there.